I know you probably do the little hand dance with me, don't you? Anyway, who am I? What are we doing? Countdown to restoration, counting down the illegal days of the Biden regime until we come to a time of legal restoration. Do you really think that? I know that. There is so much I know, and there is so little time to tell you, but who am I? I am Danny Thompson, and thank you for watching. We are available on Rumble, as you know. We are also available on YouTube. We do post to Twitter on 2 accounts, also on Telegram and CloutHub. Is that all? I think so. Yes, but our main place is Rumble. And I just did that. I don't know Rumble. Anyway, I know it's a fight, but anyway, they should have the car sound. But anyway, we are going to jump right in. What are we jumping in with, Jay? Like I have an announcer. Well, Danny, today. Anyway, this from Charlie Kirk, who is always in the know. Today, Pastor Mike McClure from Calvary Chapel, San Jose, remains open in defiance of orders from San Jose, California, that would be. Said California is the place you ought to be, so they loaded up the truck and they moved to Beverly Hills, that is. Anyway, this is serious. He is facing $1,200,000 in mounting fines. He won't budge. Most pastors and churches have turned their back on him. Stand with Mike, a total hero for Christ. I mean, he's just a total hero for everything. Even if you're not religious, you ought to applaud him. Contact him, Calvary Chapel, San Jose, Mike McClure. Let him know you're praying for him, or you just stand with him. Or, send the church some money and help them pay for all this. I mean, if every pastor in this country would stand up, we could break this. We could break this stranglehold on the economy, which we will talk about later, and the regime's plans, led by who, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, assorted other oddities that may be watching? The thief in chief. Yeah! Oh, he loves it. The thief in chief. Yes, led by him and assorted other oddities. Speaking of which, I know this is bad, isn't it? What a time to bring out our friend, Dr. Rachel Levin. Yes, who needs help. Who needs help. Needs prayer. But the whole regime needs help. You know, this is the face of the military. This is the face they want for the new country. Won't dates be wonderful? Oh, where do you get your hair done? Oh, I get mine by the same girl. Isn't she wonderful? Yes. Can we go buy lipstick afterwards? Okay. I mean, I don't know. It's Monday. I'm just in one of those moods. Hang with me. Let's have fun. I'm trying to be respectful and nice. But see, it's very hard. This was supposed to go after the slide on the pastor, but the director didn't do it. Wanted to do Rachel Levin. SecularDems.org, we are going to do a show just on this, restoring constitutional secularism and patriotic pluralism in the White House. That's what's guiding them. That's what they want. And that's what they're trying to do. And that's what they will do if we don't speak up. And I don't have the slide for it. People spoke up, and they are no longer going to vaccinate the detainees in Guantanamo ahead of us normal, everyday Americans. People got upset about that because the leader of 9/11 was going to get a vaccination before victims of 9/11. And you know, that's just them, though. That's who's in office. That's the way they think. It's horrible, and we should not allow it. Vice President Harris, and she's kind of made a problem. Actually, it's not her. Made a problem with Senator Joe Manchin of West Virginia, was being interviewed by TV stations, etc., in West Virginia. And, you know, they're worried because of coal. Because the Biden administration doesn't want any more coal. Coal is bad. Coal, natural gas, oil, anything else that creates a job is bad. Now, we need to get you doing high-paying jobs, closing down your own businesses. Cap those wells. Everybody, cap those wells. Well, not only are we capping wells, Vice President Harris, West Virginia will see jobs through reclaiming abandoned landmines. Who has been planting all those landmines in West Virginia? We want to know. Do they date back to the Civil War? What's the deal? Have Germans, did they slip over in World War II and plant landmines? Maybe they're being planted by right-wing extremists wanting to blow the poor coal miners' legs off. I don't know, but we need to reclaim those landmines. Of course, she meant coal mines. You think she meant it? Inquiring minds do want to know, though, don't they? So there's going to be high-paying jobs and good finger insurance reclaiming those abandoned landmines. That wouldn't be funny in some countries, because some countries they have a horrible problem. Little kids get their legs blown off, people die. But, come on. I know I should be more serious, but as I said, it is Monday. All right, so now we're going to get serious. What are we doing? Oh, look at this. Biden retains Trump's border rules for now, although he stopped the construction of the wall for the next 2 months, with migrants stuck in Mexico or facing expulsion, meaning they're going to be thrown out. So, why that? Oh, could it be the American people were really upset about everything? I don't know what they're doing. He talked with Mexico, the president of Mexico, and said, hey, we're going to stop that policy, and then didn't. I don't know. Maybe Mexico likes having them. Who knows? We don't know. Let's just keep going. But yet, President Biden has yet to call Israel's prime minister, Mr. Netanyahu. No, can't do that. We can call, everybody else can't call him. Oh, yeah, because Iran is our number one ally now in the Middle East, not Israel. So why would you call the enemy? It makes sense, doesn't it? And you just, now you realize why they hated Trump so much, why they hate us so much. And then they tell us we're anti-Semitic and everything. Come on. These people, they're not, people want to say they're clueless. That's not it. They're not clueless. They know what they're doing. They're evil. I mean, let's just say it. They're evil. I did say it, didn't I? I don't even feel bad about it. They're evil. They have evil plans. All right. President Biden, I should have saved this clip Friday, but I thought, okay, there will be others. He was supposed to be giving a speech tonight on restoring America's respect abroad. A foreign policy speech where he's going to tell us how he's going to get nations to respect us again. Well, they're doing a good job of it, aren't they? Myanmar's, it'll always be Burma to me. Army stages coup detaining Aung San Suu Kyi, or I don't know how to say that, and others. Yeah, the army took over because of why? They suspect fraudulent elections. Sorry, this is serious. But you know how many people think that we are under military rule here because of fraudulent elections, and that keeps getting, and there the army actually did it. If they really, I mean, and you don't know, how can we trust Myanmar's army? I don't know. But they did this under whose watch? Oh, the man they respect so much, honest Uncle Joe Biden. That's right, come buy a car from me. I'm sorry, I didn't realize I was in this mood till I started doing this. I've just been kind of quiet all morning. You can ask my wife. I mean, she was dusting the house, dusted me. She thought I was part of the furniture. I don't know. Chinese bombers simulated an attack on a U.S. Navy aircraft carrier in the South China Sea. That sounds like respect to me, huh? We're going to pretend we're attacking you and blowing your ships up. We respect you that much, Joe Biden. Hey, can you tell Hunter that his payment will be late this month? I mean, come on. And so I think, now they may actually go on with speech. I can't find anything on it. Jinsaki, it sounds like Japanese liquor or something, doesn't it? Rice wine. I'll have some jinsaki with the Japanese food. I'm going to try to get myself together. I'm in a strange mood today. It just comes out. But this is serious. I mean, I don't know if they're going to do the foreign policy speech now because, they're meeting with 10 Republicans to hammer out the American Rescue Plan. Help, I'm drowning. I'm going to drown worse if you try to rescue me. I mean, Biden would be the lifeguard that'd knock you out and drown you while pulling you back to shore, wouldn't he? I mean, come on. I mean, this is not respect, ladies and gentlemen. This shows, and would they have done it under Trump? I don't know, but I guarantee you there'd be a response to it. I guarantee it. All right, market alert, February 20th. I know the market's going up, 300 a day, pretty good. Watch, I don't know what's going to happen. I just know it's an alert, and you have to pay attention to alert. But I do know this, speaking of markets and moving the phone around, let me tighten my little stand up here. Walmart donates $14 million to promote racial equality. No, to promote racial equity. Yes, racial equity. Let's have some more on racial equity, shall we? Because that's the new thing. That's what they're committed to. Senator Ed Markey, right now is the moment to pass strong environmental justice legislation to protect frontline communities and reverse decades of environmental racism. Yes, part of that equity. We've got to get equitable, ladies and gentlemen, even if it kills us, and it just might. It just might. It's going to destroy us, I know that, and so does this wise man, who has written a paper, you can find it, Gerard Baker. Joe Biden's strategy on race will divide America by emphasizing racial equity rather than racial equality. The new president is signaling an assault on white wealth and privilege. And the title sounds bad, doesn't it? White privilege. No, he is assaulting it. And we don't have white privilege, but they want to take our wealth. I could put up a slide, but I don't have time today. Bill de Blasio, the horrible mayor of New York City, saying that's what they're going to do in their new budget. They are going to redistribute wealth. They're going to tax the rich and redistribute wealth. They're not even hiding it. They're just coming out and saying it. I mean, these people are horrible. Oh, let's not do that one yet. Let's go to... Oh, do I not have that one? Darn. I have some slides on Supreme Court rulings that you cannot treat one race other than another. I'll find that for tomorrow because we really just didn't have time. So we'll go back to this one. President Biden has nominated lawyer Kristen Clarke. We talked about her the other day to be Assistant Attorney General for Civil Rights. Clarke has said that blacks are genetically superior to whites. Watch sports. It's true, isn't it? I guess. Melanin, however you say that, what gives them their color, endows blacks with greater mental, physical, and spiritual abilities, while most whites are unable to produce melanin because their pineal glands are often calcified or non-functioning, wrote Clarke in the Harvard Crimson newspaper in 1994. Yeah, those glands just be a calcifying there, boss. Anyway, I will get in trouble for that, won't I? But no, we are genetically inferior, which shows we are now what? We have achieved equity or equality because we think they're genetically inferior, and it turns out they think we're genetically inferior. We're all the same. And you know what? There's always stronger, there's always better, there's always smarter, but it's not by race. Come on. There are black people that Thomas Sowell, good grief, how many others? I mean, there's Hispanics, there's Asians. There are white people that are so dumb you don't know if they know how to tie their shoes. I mean, But no, we've got to play all these games. We've got to play all these games. What else are we doing here? Oh, yes, Chuck Schumer. We will find a way to do big, bold change. We must create change. Oh, well, we've got more. What kind of change would you like to create there, Chuck? Well, let's find out. Let's put you over here. Oh, yes, wiggle it around a little bit. Bring it down. Automatic voter registration, getting rid of Citizens United. Have to do some research on that. I know a little bit, but not enough to talk about. All the things embodied in H.R. 1, which the House passed and McConnell would block. That's bringing in all the stuff that those secular Democrats want us to do. We're going to fight to pass it in the Senate. That's why we made it S1, Senate Bill 1. So climate, racial inequality. We need equity. Economic inequality and democracy. Improving our democracy, letting people vote much more easily. Easier than last time, Chuck? My goodness, they could just make a paper airplane and fly it in and get it counted. Letting people vote much more easily. Dealing with D.C. and Puerto Rican statehood. We need 4 more Democratic senators. Dealing with bad money that flows in. There was so much dark money flowing into the Biden campaign, nobody even knows where it came from. But anyway, the John Lewis Act, about controlling campaign money, which I won't speak ill of the dead, but John Lewis didn't control campaign money. Undoing the horrible decisions the court made, which defamed the Voting Rights Act. It was defamed. Why? Because you can't, so I was talking about, you can't favor one group over another to correct bias in the world, only to correct systematic racism within the federal government, and it doesn't exist in the federal government. I mean, look at what all the federal government does. You know it doesn't. Okay, let's cover me up now. All right. And actually, I got this out of order. We would like the Republicans to join us, but we're not going to join them. These issues have to do with climate, huge issue faced in the country, racial and economic inequality, which has gotten worse, not better. Oh, all this stuff, that's what they want to do. And there's more big change, because that's not even the half of it, ladies and gentlemen, which we will get in later in our insider portion, which you probably won't hear anywhere else. So where else are we? What do we have here? Remember this, because it is their battle cry. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen, remember from Friday, she wasn't yelling. She was barely mumbling. The benefits of acting now and acting big will far outweigh the cost in the long run. We have to act big. And I could play, I don't know how many clips of all these people saying, it'll cost more to do nothing than to do something big. And no, it won't, as we will see later in the program, so stay tuned. Oh, and this part of the program has been brought to you by me. Okay. I told you, I'm in a weird mood. I don't know what to do. And I don't know what is going on with this clip. It turned every which way but loose. But let's get Jen in here and listen to her. All of this is important. Take it away, Jen.
It's important to remember that the size of the package was designed with the size of the crisis, dual crises, as we've said. And I wanted to just call out a couple of economists and some economic data that we've seen over the last several days. A new report by the Brookings Institution estimates that with the American Rescue Plan, we could boost GDP by 4% and return our economy to pre-COVID levels by the end of 2021. A separate analysis by Moody's Analytics found that the president's plan would create 7.5 million jobs this year and double our economic growth and return our economy back to full employment 1 year faster. The IMF's chief economist said their preliminary analysis found that the plan could boost U.S. economic growth by 5% over 3 years. A couple of other just updates for you.
Well, you notice everything that this great rescue plan is going to do is going to be next year, over the next 5 years, etc., etc. But wait. there's more. Let's listen to this exchange, which made Miss Jen a little upset. Hasn't she been getting upset lately? Yes, she has. I worry about her emotional health.
2 weeks to try to come up with a bipartisan solution. And then secondly, the CBO said this morning that the economy should return to pre-pandemic levels by about mid-year, even if there's not additional legislation. So how does that assessment affect what your effective negotiations?
So on the first, I'm not going to give a deadline here other than to say that it is urgent we move forward for all the reasons we've already been discussing, including the need to ensure families can put food on the table, the need to ensure we have time to plan for getting schools the necessary funding to reopen, the need to ensure we can get vaccines in the arms of Americans. Clearly, there's urgency. As you know, and as many of you know who cover Congress, there's a process that's ongoing this week. There's still some time here as that process works its way through for changes to be made. So that was what I was referring to. On the second question, can you repeat the second question one more
The
time?
CBO, their projection this morning that the economy is going to return to pre-pandemic size by the middle of the year, and that's without any additional stimulus.
Well, the president's plan, as we've been discussing in here, was designed to achieve certain basic goals: getting shots in the arms of Americans, helping the 1 in 7 families who are going hungry, and the nearly 7 million Americans who are facing possible eviction during a pandemic. The CBO projections for next year's growth isn't a measure of all of these things, right? It's not a measure of how each American family is doing and whether the American people are getting the assistance they need, or whether we're able to get vaccines and the shots of people. So, we've, of course, it answers a different question, I should say. So our focus is on what the American people need to get through this crisis, which is why we are pushing for this piece of legislation.
Yes, next question, please, because I'm not talking to you anymore. Jen, you either need more Starbucks or less. I'm not sure which. Somebody get her a Starbucks. Yes, did you hear that? All that talk when we played the first clip, all these economists saying, oh, if we do this on down the road, it'll really help. But that nasty Congressional Budget Office, what do they have to say? You know what? If we do nothing, just let the economy, open things up and recover, we'll get back to normal, just where we were, without spending any more money on it. Made her mad. And you notice she said, oh, what was that second question? Because she is still trying to find the page with her pre-written estimated answers. But a bit of an attitude there, Jen. You must work on it with your anger management coach. All right, let's see what the Congressional Budget Office had to say. Oh, that's not it, is it? Where is the Congressional Budget Office? Here it is. All right. CBO sees rapid growth recovery, labor force returning to pre-pandemic level by 2022. And yet, we have even more. This has got to be a killer to them, GDP is expected to return to its pre-pandemic size in mid-2021, and the labor force is forecast to rebound to its pre-pandemic level in 2022, the CBO said. Importantly, the CBO said its rosier projections do not assume any new stimulus, including President Joe Biden's $1.9 trillion with a T plan. The CBO projects unemployment rates to fall to 5.3 in 2021 and to 4% between 2024 and 2025. 5.3 is acceptable in any year unless you're President Donald J. Trump, who is never happy as long as one American needs a job. And Joe Biden, they are cutting more jobs than they're ever going to create. So, boy, that's just these people, they just can't catch a break. Either Joe Biden messes them up, someone else Dr. Fauci, 2 masks. Oh, no, there's no scientific evidence on 2 masks, just like Fauci said. Oh, and I forgot my new Equity song. I'll have to sing it for you tomorrow. Remind me, I'll make a note now. Equity song. You'll love it. It will be fun. It'll be a #1 hit. I'll give you a preview. Equity, all my equality is falling off of me. Anyway, something like that. And I have a lot of things from Alex Berenson on the pandemic, but I just don't have time for it today because we got to get to the exclusive information. I'm trying to keep this under 3 days long. So, all right. Someone had a bit of an allergic reaction to medication this weekend. Who could that be? And who silenced, I said her name right the other day, Kamala. No, it sounds like Camelot. Kamala. Mrs. Harris. Ms. Harris, I'm sorry. Who silenced her? Big people gathered, and that's just a question. We're going to find out soon who silenced her. So I just like to keep that going. But bless her heart, she's very unhappy. And you know what? We have information. She's starting to feel the other way about things. Big people gathered, sent a messenger in the back door of the private residence of the thief in chief. A special messenger. Conversation. You have fallen behind. Look what I've done, man. It isn't enough. Time is in play. Get it done. It's done. It better be. Now see, this gets serious. I'm we kind of play around with some things. I think it's just, just a emotional response because everything's so... It better be, or I see a funeral in the nation's future. These people don't play. These people do not play. I mean, and then there's a phone call, the muffled sound, and another funeral must be done first. Someone's in trouble. Get with it, or that is it. Get past this week and we can slow down some. I can do it. By the way, listen to this. Your book is about finished. It should take care of your family if you don't get it all done. And as the special messenger is leaving, crying in the background. You don't play. It's like playing with the mob. These people are worse than the mob. Jen Psaki is angry at the press because they're not playing along. Now, in today's press conference, they had to have made some calls. There were some better questions. If you watch the whole thing, if you have to, there were some better questions, things that, picked on Trump and made the world just, feel like, Biden's doing his best. But in their opinion, the Oval, I assume meaning the Oval Office, is going too slow. They were set up for a faster pace, even though they're very late on their press conferences. It's hard, but they know there's an expected payoff, unless, of course, prison is the payoff. And they're still looking around because they're not sure, and people are wondering who might talk first. Saturday. Now, see, Joe is not having a good weekend. He can put a good face on it, I guess, but Joe actually cried because he was told by the docs that they don't know if he'll live out his first term. What was his response? He's going to work harder to get things done to bring about the greatest change the world has ever seen. Like what Chuck Schumer's talking about, only more so. Well, I told you there's more. His goal, their goal. It's hard to even read this because it's so... But you will understand everything when you hear this. You'll understand Obama. You'll understand the Clintons. You'll understand everything. Their goal is to make America the servants and suppliers of the world. And I don't mean helpful, so we just want to serve the world. No. They want us to literally enable the rest of the world, take up the slack for the world. They want us to be the place that makes we sacrifice, and the servants, slaves to the world. To them, that is why we exist. That is why people must come here to touch and serve the world. But not to serve in the good way, as I said. Of course, the people that lead and are needed in high positions, they're going to be protected and they're going to be kept safe. And their lives will be good because, well, you've got to have people in charge. There was a Zoom call. Oh, I wish I'd kept this before I started doing this. I'm going to try to find it and show you. But in it, Biden tells black leaders they've got to step up. You know, the Hispanics are about to overtake them. They've got to do their part. And in a few years, white people won't be in charge anymore because we won't be the majority and somebody's going to have to step up. That's the way they feel. I mean, these people sicken me. They scare me, they sicken me, and they should you. All right. The people in charge will be protected. Therefore, now you understand what he was saying. No more make America great again. No more America first. No, we don't belong first. We belong at the bottom. To them, we exist to be the servants of the world and to bring people in to help serve. They don't want them in to help them. They want them in to help China. And they feel the same thing about the inhabitants of Western Europe. If you're white and that's what you're for, and if you're of another color, unless you're a certain class of it, you're to come in and do what the other people won't do. Sunday night, everyone was upset. Too many know what happened, so there are too many voices. Too many people wanting power. Too many people wanting their share of the pie before the pie's been cut up. Power is based on what one knows, only they've got to be careful because they can't lay everything out on the table, because if they show their proof, they might be gone. Oh, about to repeat the other one. There is one that was left out of all this. Somebody big behind the scenes, a huge facilitator, and he is upset and wants his place. And he will emerge soon and will push his way in. This is going to create all kinds of problems. This is a big power structure, and he's upset that Kerry got moved in ahead of him. I don't know who it is, but we'll find out. I have a suspicion. I have two suspicions. People are getting nervous because everything is more unpopular than they thought. And they keep giving these polls hoping that'll turn opinion. But we know the polls aren't right. The country knows by now, most of the country, that the polls are rigged. And they keep giving the polls to shift opinion, but their policies are not popular at all. Even some of the ruling class aren't happy with them. And so they're having some tough times. And a major defection is coming soon that will shift the balance of power and will change everything. I'm not sure what this is. I think, again, I have a suspicion it could be power in the Senate, but I'm not sure. That just means a senator switches from Democrat to Republican and changes the balance, and Republicans move back in charge. But there's rumors, there's talking. Let's give them something to talk about. How about not love? Okay, I know you tune in for the song, so I try to help. But so goes the weekend when you are a gang of thieves led by who? Come on, you know. Where is he? Where is he? Where is he? Led by the thief in chief. Yeah, the thief in chief. That's the way it goes. And so goes this show. I wanted to do it a little quicker, so I got you in and out in under an hour. God bless you. Pray for America. Pray. I don't wish ill on these people, but man, it's tough to take it. You know how we want to serve the world? We want to get out the goodness of America. We want to get out the gospel. We want to get out our inventions. We want to get out our better caliber of life, our higher standard of living. But no, they just see us as peasants, as pawns. This country has changed the world for the better. Not everything is good from America. And they want to destroy that. Well, call them. Call the White House. Say, I don't like your plan. Call your representative. Call your senator. Say, I don't like these plans. We're a great country, and we need things to show that. We want equality, not equity. We don't want all these trillions to keep being spent. We don't want the borders open. Yeah, you're going to sound like a racist. You're going to sound like a nationalist. But you're not. Because we want the black community healed. We want the black community to prosper. We want Hispanics who are legally here to prosper and have good lives. We want everybody to have a prosperous life. Who is there that wants there to be poor people? Anyway, I told you I was going to get you out of here early today. God bless you. Pray for America. As far as I know, we'll see you tomorrow. Here on Countdown to Restoration, as we go out with some lovely music.